All right, all right, all right. Welcome into this week's episode of the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast with the two best hosts, Dwat, the number one host, and Casper, the number two host. We're missing our third tonight. He had to go on a hot date, so congratulations to future sister. Hope y'all are having a good time out there. He did send some picks in. I'm probably going to change him. We're probably just going to let him pick some losers instead, so we'll see what happens. But real quick, I was going to congratulate you, Dwat. You got the win this week.
I did.
Did it feel good?
Oh man, it feels good when I see my guys win that I picked. Oh baby, I love to see him win.
88 2 days in a row.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing that Connor Zillich busted his ass and got out for Sunday. You might have missed Sunday, I guess. I don't know, but sheesh. Yeah, I was happy for you. I like you're coming back. You know, you spotted us 4 episodes. I think you're up to like 5 now. So like you're closing in. I mean, by the end
I'm
of the
there.
year,
Yeah.
I haven't won in like a month. Hopefully I can do something this weekend. We'll see. But other than that, how's your weekend? I know you had some fun stuff you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, I went to the yard sale. I got some stuff. I'll go ahead and show it. Dad, if you're watching or listening, well, you might get a little sneak peek of some side gifts for Christmas. Anyway, got a pint glass of Yankees. He's big into the Yankees. I got my Yankees pint glass.
Budweiser.
I got a Budweiser. Yeah, I got
beers.
me a button that I collect.
Is that
So I found
Twins?
Yeah, it's Twins. Okay. Yep. And then I got me a Predators pennant for the down here, and then I got me a postcard. I've been getting into sports. Postcard is a horse racing.
Is that Churchill Downs?
Churchill Downs, yep, Churchill Downs. So that was like $1, and then for $1, I got the Atlanta Motor Speedway seat cushion to put in the garage.
Yeah.
As like a display. So it was a cool weekend. It was packed up there in Crossville area. Came back through Dunlap and hit those on the way home. So I got the seat cushion up. It's something that I enjoy doing. My parents enjoy doing, and my wife enjoys it. So we go out and have a good time and kind of get in the middle of it. It was pretty hectic in Crossville. You just park kind of just in out in the road there in the middle of the road, and you walk on both sides of the highway there and look around at the tents. And it wasn't muddy this year, so it was very nice that it was been dry.
Yeah.
Because with the parking lots being grass and whatnot, it can be messy. But all in all, it was a cool weekend for me.
Yeah, so guys, for just to, like catch up, so what he's talking about is they have the world's longest yard sale on was it Highway 127?
Yeah,
like,
127.
I mean, was it 100-something miles long yard sales or something?
Yeah,
like
it goes from technically from Alabama, Gadsden, all the way to Michigan.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So it's yeah.
I went once. I would like to go again at some point. I'm busy all the time. I've always got something to do. But I'm glad y'all went and had a good time. I'm glad you got some good stuff. I'm just going to ask you. You showed off some stuff. How much money did you spend on all that combined?
I want to say $10, $8.
Holy crap! Well, that's good. That's good.
Most of it was $1 or $2.
Sheesh.
I like to stumble across things like that out. I call it out in the wild, because you can just buy them on eBay, and that's not a whole lot of fun. So when I like the buttons, kind of hard to find. You really got to almost dig for them, and the postcards can be hidden in little spots. I saw some other pennants, but that one was $5. I think that was the max I spent on a certain item. So some people go out there and most things are priced very high with the lunch boxes or whatnot, and that I like to also look for. But I like to buy things on the cheap end, and that's part of the fun of collecting as well.
Hey, whatever works. Well, I'm glad you didn't get any athletics jerseys and stuff. I just want to say that's the worst name in baseball, and I hope to God when they get to Las Vegas they change the name, because I saw somebody was commenting on some posts on Instagram saying that it will always be the A's, and I don't know. I mean, it's a terrible name, and they really need to work on that. So hopefully they do when they move. I'm just messing with you, Danny. We'll see what happens whenever they get to Vegas. I guess they'll always be the A's is what I've been informed, so I've learned. It is what it is. Hey, did you see they had that first woman baseball umpire this weekend?
I saw that.
And the first pitch was like 8 inches inside, and she called it a strike. I was like, oh, come on, man. Like those TV boxes, they're a dead giveaway. Like when you miss a call, and I felt so bad, but because I'm like, man, with the WNBA crap and everything's going on, it's a rough one. But that was cool. I was glad to see that. Glad to see some diversity out there. As long as it's earned, I don't have a problem with it. So that was cool to see that, and it was at the Braves too. So
it was, yeah,
it was a little bonus, but. I don't know. We had a lot of news this week. Number one on the junk of the week, the Dome is booked, and tickets came in the mail yesterday. So,
paper ticket. Or wow, that's neat. These days it's all on your phone.
One for every day. So they're all here. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, what? Why are we doing this? This is the second time this year I've had to keep up with tickets for months. I don't like it. They're in the safe, just for the record. In the gun safe. That's where they are. So whenever we go, somebody be sure I bring the tickets because it scares the hell out of me. Anyways, that's awesome. We're excited. JP's not here. It's his party, but he's not here to talk about it. It sucks for him. You saw the Aiden Honeycutt niece situation. I mean, do you think that's kind of crappy?
Yeah, I think it's crappy. I think he might be going to the Tricon. I think that was a rumor that he's going to switch to Toyota. Am I correct?
Yeah, so I had an opinion when I made these notes on Sunday, and then today because we're running a day late. For those of you who hadn't caught up, we're running a day late here. But I listened to the podcast today, and basically what they were saying, it made sense. I never thought about it, but because he basically said he's going to Toyota, they can't have him in the Chevy Sim and any team meetings and stuff like that. So it makes sense why they had to do what they had to do, and then it just worked out for him with Friesen having the open truck that's Toyota to be able to drop in there. So we'll see what happens there. Other than that, the whole Friesen thing, I don't know how. I mean, have you seen this where they're talking about him applying for a waiver even though he's not going to race to get paid? I wouldn't blame him. I mean, to me, you got to do what you got to do to get paid, but NASCAR kind of needs to fix the rules there somehow, some way. I know that basically what I've been reading is it's trucks. And Xfinity and Cup is a little different how the points payout goes. So they need to figure some way out that you don't have the situation where he's going to take up a spot. And I'd hate to see that overall. I don't blame him though. If that's how the rules written, it's how the rules written. Everybody's playing by the same. But I would expect to see it change next year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably pretty fair. Other than that, our boy Corey, he spotted the news. We have a text group, the CFC text group. Me and Dwat and JP and Dwat went ahead and broke the news to us today that old Corey's, going big baller, getting him a Longhorn. I got my shirt right here, old school logo because I like it better than the new one, just to be honest. But yeah, Corey got him a Longhorn, and I've really enjoyed the haters online, and they're like, "Oh, you told everybody to buy your parts from BMF, and now you got a Longhorn." Hinted that see what's happening next year. Viper Motorsports making the investment, as he called it in the post. I'm glad to see that. Corey's had a really good year, this year, as far as he really hadn't run crates, which is something he's tried to run more supers in the past, but always kind of ends up back in the crate by the end of the year. And this year he's really put full focus on the supers, and I'm glad to see that. Obviously being from here, and me and you talked about this. I think we were at I-75. Tennessee guys are kind of falling apart on the national scene a little bit. There's not a whole lot, Bloomquist out, Owens is kind of back more to regional, so you got Mikey out there, but he's not full-time either. I hope that Corey's hinting that he's going to make a national tour run next year. I think we'd all love to see it, and we'll buy all the gear, I'm sure. So I don't know what happens there, but, got the Longhorn. I assume you see him at Eldora, Charlotte, kind of see what they got, I would assume, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Something like that sounds about right.
But as far as anything else you had for the week you want to talk about? Or?
I think I am going to Nashville for the IndyCar race.
Ooh.
In a few weeks. I think we're going to go to the zoo, we're going to go to the Sounds, and we're going to go to the IndyCar on Sunday. I think that's the plan.
That's a busy weekend, son.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot going on.
And that's their championship race, right?
Yeah, that's the championship finale.
The championship's over, actually, technically. But maybe next year they'll have a playoff. Palou did lock up the championship on Sunday. He didn't win the race, so he can't set if he wins the other two races, he ties for the most race wins in a year, but he can't, he had to win all three to set the record. So that'd be cool. I think, our old friend, old Shane, he used to go to them IndyCar races at Nashville Speedway back in the, I don't know if you remember when we were 5th grade, but he used to love it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. That'd be cool to go to. I would love to go to that, but I'm probably not. So I hope you have a good time with that. IndyCar's awesome. I went to 500 this year, so at least we both seen IndyCar this year. This is the IndyCar podcast. You heard it here first. But yeah, Palou did get the championship locked up. Just for the record, they were kind of throwing around this week at the pre-race, I guess, because he was so far ahead and was maybe going to lock up the championship. They're like, should IndyCar get a chase? And people are like, no, we don't need a chase. We don't. And I'm just like, do you think it's exciting that the champion's been named with 2 races?
I didn't know that, so I feel like they need to have something different, have a playoff format of some sort. Because if he's already locked it up, then what's there to talk about on their end?
I mean,
he's already the champion.
Thankfully, them football hadn't started. They only got preseason to go against. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a playoff hater. I'm a next gen car hater. We're not even going to talk about it on the show anymore because like we're not getting the details, but they suck. Like I'm a playoff. I think playoffs is good for overall the sports. I think IndyCar should look into it. I think Fox is going to look into it. You know, Fox bought like a third IndyCar or something. I'm gonna say IndyCar chase playoff. Something's coming. IndyCar fans, be ready. You're on watch. And congratulations, because I think it'd be good for you. I mean, IndyCar right now is borderline more exciting to watch on TV. I mean, I watched some of the IndyCar race after the Cup race on Sunday, and like the IndyCar race was honestly more exciting. You know, I don't know. We'll get into the Cup race here in a little bit, but other than that, I guess that about wraps it up for the week. So thank y'all for listening to all that. We're gonna get into some dirt and some NASCAR, but before we do that, you guys please go like, subscribe, share. Help us out on YouTube. Get us some likes on there. I did learn. This is a little behind the scenes for those of you that watch this video. Today, I was talking to some people that I've done some stuff with in the past, and we were kind of talking about podcasts and YouTube and all this crap. Well, the software I use it to make the video the last couple weeks is AI, and I think that they have kicked us down on the overall podcast views on YouTube because it's deemed as AI generated, even though it's our content. It's just using it to edit. So we're going to change that back up a little bit. We're going to go back to kind of the old school with the Caution Flag Contemplations logo and me and Dwat's name up there today, and we'll see how that does. But help us out, guys. If you don't care, give us like, subscribe, follow. We're doing this for fun, but like we're not going to do this for 5 years for fun. So we're trying to make a shot at it. You know, help us out, and I mean, it is what it is. We have a good time. But me and Dwat probably going to be friends long after podcast. We're friends long before podcast. So, you know, it is what it is. And we're still going to go to races. So, you know, see us around, you know, say hey. But anyways, other than that, all right, we'll get into the dirt here. Real quick. Basically, it was just Lucas this week. There wasn't a whole lot else going on.
Yeah, just Lucas Oil.
I mean, I think there was some people racing down there at the mag, maybe. Like Turbo or something. They had some kind of, was it Southern? Or I don't even know what it was. I don't care, frankly. Lucas was up there at Florence, and he went up there a few years ago. Yeah. It's a great racetrack. Those of you that don't know, grade A facility as far as I'm concerned. They race Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Twins on Thursday, Friday. I got to watch the racing all nights this week because they weren't too late. They weren't too early.
Yeah,
they worked out really good.
Yeah, yes.
They were scared of rain there a couple times. Was it Thursday night? They were done at like 8.
Yeah,
9 o'clock.
Yeah, that first night it caught me off guard. It was quick.
Yeah,
so, which is good.
I put the kid down there running A mains. I was like, oh my god, but, dude, it was good. Thursday night was really good. In my opinion, it was probably one of the best nights. Something about those 25 lap races really gets these guys just, you know, I don't know. I'm assuming they run softer tires and they know they got to go. Like you're not trying to save nothing. Yeah. And I kind of like that a little bit. Maybe if we had some stage racing to Lucas Dirt, we'll, you know, get them to race the whole race. I don't know. Somebody's going to fry us on TikTok for that. But anyways, I'm joking. I know, really good races Thursday. Now, also, you know, I want to point out, because, like, this is the third week in a row, but, like, we got to watch these prelims. They're good because the track's not rubbered up yet. Like, that's part of it. Like, by Saturday night, we have a 3-day show. The track takes rubber, and I don't know. I thought it was good. Did you watch Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, both of them, Thursday and Friday. And, I mean, it's just kind of the same thought. I thought it was good. You got to go. It's a quick race. You know, Bobby Pierce was tough. You know, was good all weekend. It was tough to beat all weekend. And then, you know, it's good to see some guys that you don't always see in the feature, you know, that run well in the prelim night. So I like to see these other guys that we don't always see for the big money night run well.
So like you had Dalton Wilson and Alberson win on Thursday. Then Friday you had obviously Booby, and I'm gonna call him that forever from now on. Yeah. But so that was, I mean, that, like you said though, that was, you know, it was him, Davenport, and Overton. Like, it's a pretty big deal. Overton needs to look better than he has, so it's good to see him have a good couple runs this weekend. And that second B on Friday had Justin Ratliff finishing third, which big time deal for him. You know, not a full time guy, so cool to see that. But Saturday we get up there, have a 75 lap feature. And, you know, I'll just give the overview and then we'll talk about it. So, pretty much, first things first, somebody on Overton's team forgot the hood pins. Idiots.
Yeah, like, you can't do that. That's too big of a race to be forgetting something like that. You got to double check that.
Yeah. So, anyways, they go to green and his hood flies off going into turn 1. They got to throw the caution. Yes, drop to the back to put the hood back on. All this. I mean, it's got to be a penalty or something. I don't know. I felt bad for him. I really wish that he had a live camera. They had the onboard camera. I wish they had, like, live audio in his mouth when he saw that hood come off, because you know how he is. But other than that, Davenport kind of takes the lead to start, and then Bobby Pierce gets around him around, like lap 60-ish. And
Yeah,
he
something like
just
that.
pretty much left him from then on. Davenport had a little damage, I suppose, but they had a spirited battle, which we're about to discuss. So, other than that's pretty much wraps it up. There wasn't a whole lot else going on in that feature. There's a lot of racing for second through fifth, but it's a good race, great track, good crowd. So, anyways, we'll get straight to it. I want to hear your take on it. So, Davenport, Bobby, make contact. Who did it?
So
What'd you see?
I was watching at my in-laws' house in Crossville, and when it started, like I was just watching it, and I thought it was just gonna be a standard 75 lap race, or no,
It's whatever it was.
yep, yeah, 100 lap race. Anyway, they started getting together. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I wrote down some things like you can get 1 or 2 sliders, and that's fine. And I get it. Davenport was kind of running a very unique line. It's worked for him over the years. I just feel like at some point they would really, like, you don't see that a lot, I don't feel like. And it's just the track's a half mile, and they get some speed built up around the corners and got long straightaways. And I didn't care for it. No, I mean, I'll just get to it. I didn't care for it. And I thought Davenport was going to hook him at least maybe twice, but he just hit him twice, hit him a few times, and he could have, and kind of like you said in the interview afterwards, I could have, and I'm sure my car owner wanted me to, but I just took away as just very very aggressive, and I just didn't care for Bobby's. I mean, I get it, he just won. I'd be smiling, laughing too, but he sure was kind of cocky about it. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's got a little bit of that Carson Hocevar in him, right? Like.
Yes.
He's like cheering the fans on for booing him. Like, okay, don't get mad when we boo you, because I'll tell you right now, you roll in where I'm at, and I'm booing your ass. I've been booing you anyways for a while. I mean, frankly, Dwat, I don't know if you noticed, but I've been booing him for about a year now. So I'm glad everybody else is catching up. But I don't know. My opinion is this: there's 40 laps to go in the race. He didn't try to pass him clean one time that I saw. So that's my frustration with Bobby as far as that goes. This whole thing about, well, he runs this line and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know about you. Like, you've been there. That track is freaking wide, dude.
Right,
like, it's like 6 lanes from the top to the bottom of the corners. Like, try something at least before you do it. And I know part of it is like, his point's about, well, what if this thing rubbers up and I got to get past and blah, 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 blah. All that makes sense. I get it. It's getting to the point where, like, he sees the lead and he just automatically, like, the slider's coming and he's going to hit somebody. And, like, I don't care if you throw the slider, okay? I think back to probably still to this day one of my favorite races that me and you went to. Back at Cleveland Speedway, Billy Ogle Jr., Ray Cook, 201 versus the 53, back when he had that orange and black 53 at Cleveland Speedway for like 50 laps for Southern All-Stars or whatever it was. And, I mean, they probably slid each other every corner for 20 laps, right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and, like, clean, never touched each other. And, like, part of that move to me on that slider is when you make that slider, you got to go all the ways up. But he kind of parked in the middle of the track in front of Davenport. And that's when he got the most damage when he ran. I mean, he ran square in the ass, right? Like, I don't know. If you're going to make a slider, that's fine. But you have to clear up, and then you have to give him the racing lane to come back under you. And then the point is that hopefully going to the next turn, he's not going to be able to get back under you, right? Like, that's how that works. I'm a fan, not a driver. But I don't know. I mean, here's what I do like. I'm a Davenport fan. I got the hat. You got the hat. Whatever. Yeah. I don't like Bobby Pierce. I have it for a while. I think he's a little dirty. Guess what? A lot of people don't like JD. It is what it is. They're both good. Yeah. Bobby's good. Bobby's talented. You like Joey Logano. I don't like Joey Logano. Joey Logano can drive. Okay? It is what it is. What I do like is seeing them race each other, a few weeks in a row. And, like, Bobby's done good. I did a little interesting research. This whole Lucas versus World Outlaws, right now in sprint car stuff, which we don't really focus on, you got the whole high limit versus World Outlaws and what's going on with all that crap and everything. And I don't know, man. I really like kind of seeing the World Outlaws versus Lucas. I think it's good for the sport. I like when they do these events. I hate when we have weekends like coming up this weekend where they're both racing, even though one of them's got a crown jewel and what I consider to be a special event just because, it's a little different than what we see every weekend. I don't know. I love to watch him race. Congratulations to Bobby. He's got 4 wins in Lucas this year. I went back and looked. There have been 4 Lucas wins in World Outlaws, but it's been from 3 different guys. Between 71, 99, and 49, they had got 4 across the World Outlaws. So, like, Bobby's good. Bobby's probably number 1 driver right now, in my opinion. So, But what that does lead me to is a couple questions just kind of on the overall state of dirt racing we'll talk about here. Very kind of talk about the sliders. I mean, am I wrong? You think they got to get out of the way if you slide them?
You just got to get out of the way. You got to clear them or get very close to clearing them, and then I think you should just get a couple of them. I wrote down just one or two. If you're faster, then in theory you should pass them. And then if you're just going back and forth, then you need to drop back and punt and get a new plan on how to pass the driver. That's my take. It's just you can throw them. They better be clean, and you better give some space. And if you just throw a bunch of them in a row, then you're not really passing them. You're just
and try like with 40 laps to go. Let's try to pass somebody first. I mean, all right, like that's. I mean, the biggest problem I had was in parking in the middle of the track. Overall, in that situation, before we get this, Davenport, I'm a big fan, but like we're gonna get out and talk crap. Like next time we're on the racetrack, I guess we need to do something. Otherwise we're talking, not doing nothing. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. So the couple questions I had in this race is 100 laps too long? I was watching the Knoxville Nationals next to this, and like them guys ran 50 laps. They had a halfway stop. They could change one tire or whatever, and like they were at the same time. So I'm watching one screen, this screen, right? And like I had this idea, like maybe in a late model race, 100 laps, we should have a halfway stop. I mean, let them put tires on if they want, or a tire or something. I don't know. I don't think 100 laps is too long. I do think you hear a lot about saving tires, and kind of talking about like what I talked about for the Thursday night shows. Those 25 lap sprints, like they're on it. And maybe somebody that's running 10th tries a softer tire for 50 laps and says, sees what happened or whatever. I don't know. Just something to kind of throw out there. Maybe something they could look at. I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be our most controversial topic, I have a feeling, on the TikTok. So I'm going to let you go first. Top to bottom, which series is stronger drivers? World of Outlaws late models or the Lucas Oil late model dirt series?
Go with B, Lucas Oil late model dirts. I just feel like they've got a very competitive group of drivers that show up for points, whether it's they're young drivers or they've been around for years. They got a good overall, just top to bottom, Lucas Oil late model dirt series.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if you like look at I think I just said it a minute ago, kind of spoiled the party, but I think Bobby's better right now than anybody in the Lucas Tour. He beat him. He's beat them at their own game, and he's on it. He's won on every type racetrack in the world at this point, and it's tough to beat him when they're going. So he had a little bit of slump there for a minute, but he's kind of back on it now. But I think like top to bottom, you go through like top 10 in points or something like that, and you start like making like matchups against each other. Hoffman's good. He's up there second in points or something, but like, okay, like, you got Hoffman and you got Devin Moran. Like, who's had a better year? I mean, right? Like, it's not that much of a question. So, part of that's Bobby's over there dominating, and then it makes it look a little worse. But I don't know. When they race each other, you kind of see where they finish, right? So, I think Lucas is stronger, and I'll be honest, I've thought that for about 5-10 years. I do think that World Outlaws is actually better than they were maybe 5 years ago. When I first started paying a little bit more attention to them. When I was growing up, it was, Lucas was the one I was always paying attention to. And I've become to like World Outlaws more. Got the Dirt Vision instead, just the flow and all that. It's like, I watch both, and I've got to like some of the drivers in World Outlaws and all that. But I mean, I really like when they do these mixed events, man. Like, we got to figure out how to do that more often, and then they need to stay off each other's plate as much as possible. One thing I was going to mention about this weekend, we didn't put on here, but like the car count was a little low. It was only 51 for as much money as I had. That felt a little low. Still really good racing, no issues, anything like that. But you didn't have Turbo there, which I know he's not. He just pick and choose. He wasn't there, but you didn't have like Gustin. Some of those World Outlaw guys did not make it up there for that, and I don't blame them. They're coming off. They need an off week too, but I do wish that they could work together sometimes to work on that. And I would almost borderline like to see some kind of like point series for those events when they run together somehow, some way. And I know you kind of run this problem where they have two different TV broadcasts or something like that, but I had like this dream where maybe we run like 5 and 5, or whatever the number is, just half and half. And then we have like one at the end, and we put that baby on Fox Sports 1 or something. Maybe we could do that, and then have a big points payout or something. Make something out of the Crown Jewel races. Like, make it its own point series that pays somehow between both or something like that. And they could work together on that and do their own thing. I know that's not how money works, but I think that'd be an interesting idea. If we show up and maybe you say like, your 2 Eldora races, Cedar Lake, you could throw this Florence race in there. Batesville, I would want probably in there. And then you can pick your, Fairbury, and then maybe Charlotte. Make that the 5th one or something like that. And, maybe it's just a five race points thing. And like I said, if you could find a third network to put that last race on, like for a big points, big payout, I think that'd be really cool. Just the idea for those of you out there, the Michael Rigsby's and whoever, World Dirt, whatever it's called. I don't know. Just think about it. See what you can do. I like the idea of having all the guys race, 5 times a year and have a points fund and big money for that. So, anyways, moving on from that. Hey, they can make the Dome the championship round.
Here we go. Yeah.
Even better. Flo will never do that because Flo wants TV rights to that. But I don't know. What do you think about them not having sport classes at Florence? You like it? Yay? Nay?
I say yay. I like it. It keeps the show moving, but also I like to have one sport class at least. Like give me like a hobby car stock or give me something else. But it keeps the show moving. That's the positive part about it.
I do like the show moving part. This is the one thing I would say about it. I do borderline like having something else out there. Just throw a little mix. This is like if we do this again next year, like say that same show. Like what if we just if you got 3 nights of racing, let's say you do that and you have one sport class each night. Hot lap qualify, feature, nothing else. And if you have to do a B main because you got 40, 50 cars show up, fine. But just do a B main for 2 spots and say you got to win. And I don't think your car counts would get that high if you did that. I know that when we went, the modifieds were there, and it was a little ridiculous because they were running like heats, and there's like 50 of them, and then like it can get out of control. Like so, it can really slow it down. But just a little something be okay. If I was at the racetrack, I feel like I would be getting a little ripped off. I didn't at home on TV. It feels great though. I'm just going to bed. I did love that. But other than that, Knoxville Nationals. Wrap that up. Did you watch that while you were watching Lucas race? You only had one screen where you were at, didn't you?
Yeah.
This what's his name? Ryan Timms, I think. Dude, 18 years old, absolutely smoked him. Kyle Larson was terrible. Got a flat tire, like 6 to go. Poor guy. Gravel ends up finishing on the podium, so he got the win over Larson. So Larson's having a rough summer. He still hasn't really done anything since the whole Indy double situation. So I hope he gets that together. Had a rough weekday, Sunday as well. But congratulations to Ryan Timms. The race was kind of boring, honestly, the feature, in my opinion. The Donnie Schatz thing was hilarious. I don't know if you heard that whole line about, like, which I saw, like, right before I came up here. Him and Tony Stewart split ways officially today. So, but he's basically was like, something like, we're so lucky we got a Perry to kiss us on the ding dong to get in this race or something. I was like, but it's hilarious, whatever he said. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But that's about all we got in the dirt, I suppose. Just kind of move her down the road. You got anything else for dirt when you talk about?
No, I guess the only thing is my thought on the elapse of the races.
Yeah.
This is just kind of my thought. We'll see how it goes over with some of the clips on this. But so if they're, I say you cut it down to 75 laps, and then you do a caution at lap 50, and then you go from lap 50 to lap 75, like a little dash. Maybe that's something different. I'm all about trying something different sometimes with these events that they put on. If you just do the same thing over and over again, you don't get the same results. Like, ultimately, you got the lead at lap 60 or so, and then he just took off. So maybe if the race would have been shorter, maybe it would have been the end could have been, which the caution came out with like 8 to go, but bunch the field back up one last time with about 50 to go, with 25 to go, and see what happens. That's just kind of my take on that. Maybe shorten them a little bit. I like the length at 100, but if you're going to try something different, then there you go.
I kind of like the idea of like what you're saying, then maybe add the option of like, hey, you want to change tires, fine, you're going back.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like that. Just see what happens. Don't do it at all of them. I mean, I'm not asking for this at every race, right? Like, I'm just, if you want to do something a little different at your race, I like that Knoxville Nationals has a halfway stop and they can do the tire and the open red and all that. I'd be fine with the late models if they wanted to do like a whole pit road type situation. Basically, I think you would treat it like the truck, like when they're not with the cup teams. You come down pit road. If you come down pit road, you go to the back, but you go off in the same order you came down with the cars that pitted. You know what I mean? So I'd be okay with it. Nobody wants to hear that from me, but I'd be okay with it. Some people are like, no, we don't want that. But it'd be interesting. I don't want to take away from the tire savers or whatever, but, some guys can't save tires. I mean, it is what it is. And I'd like to see what could happen if you get somebody a fresh set of Hoosiers with 20 laps to go, kind of like you're talking about. See what they can do. It'd be fun to watch. I can tell you that. Guarantee that. But, we'll see what happens. Just an interesting concept. But I do like the whole shorten it. I mean, 100's long. A lot of times the track rubbers by 100, right? I mean, that's part of the issue. So, real quick, go over the schedule for this week on the dirt. There's a lot of dirt racing this week. World Outlaws got 4 nights: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Highland, Spoon River, and something Iowa. I'm not even gonna try to say it, but they're racing there Friday, Saturday. Lucas at Batesville Friday. They got twin 5Ks, $50K to win, and the topless 100 on Saturday. I love topless late model. It's a good time. I love seeing them helmets. Hopefully they got some good ones. Those. Other than that, locally, we kind of got a fat stack this weekend too here. I wonder how this is going to affect car counts for like Batesville too. I mean, some of these races are going to be tough. Friday, there's pretty much only one race. I-75 is running limited late models for $2,500 to win. Probably be a pretty good field if I had to guess there. Saturday, Richmond Raceway, the Ironman, and I think it's the Northern Hall of Fame All-Stars or something like that. I think that's that Essex series, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. It's one of those that runs up there in Ohio or whatever. But they're having like a joint race for $12K to win at Richmond in Kentucky. Pretty big super race, really, especially considering that you're going to have World Outlaws and Lucas racing. Some of these regional guys are going to have a chance to get some money. But then you also have the Southern All-Stars at Sugar Creek for $5K and the Southern Thunder Tour at Smoky Mountain Speedway for $5K. So, like, you know, they're going to be split up a little bit as far as the super late models go. I potentially might go to Smoky Mountain, I guess, or Richmond Saturday, one of the two, if I can squeeze it. We'll see. Friday, I know I'm doing something else, but Saturday, it sounded like I might get a night out of the house. So I'll let you know if I'm going, if you want to go or whatever. Also, you know, Wartburg's got that $3,700 crate race still in Kennedy Memorial Part 2. I would also be okay to go there. I've never been there. If I'm going to pick, I would kind of like to go to a track I hadn't been to. So I've never been to Richmond. I've never been to Sugar Creek or Wartburg. So I wouldn't mind to pick one of those to go. Now, I might try to guilt one of my newer buddies into going. First time ever to a dirt track. Just be like, hey, listen, I'm going to pick you up. We're just going to go. And if we do that, it'll be Smoky Mountain because it lives close there. But we'll see. So I'll talk to you later in the week about that, hopefully. But we'll see what happens. All right, Watkins Glen truck race. You were driving across the I think.
Yeah, I was mowing, and then I got home, and then I listened to it on the way. So I'll give you my thought on the stage 3 at the point that when we get there. But you go ahead. Right?
No, I mean, so I didn't get to watch all this race. I watched some of it. Yeah. Stage 1 winner was Corey Haim. Then you had I guess Ben Rhodes won stage 2. And Haim had some issues, but ended up being able to come back up to the field, and he ends up winning the race. It was an absolute just cluster of a race in stage 3. They almost ran out of daylight. They restarted this thing like 10 times. These dudes are just wrecking each other left and right for no real reason that I could understand. Christopher Bell, they had some weird fuel strategy. Christopher Bell pitted from like the lead, and it went back to 20th with like 4 laps to go and somehow finished like 4th. So, it's just one of those deals. But, yeah, go ahead. I know you want to talk about the TV versus MRN.
So I left my house at the beginning of stage 3. And it's about an hour, whatever. It depends how fast you're going. But like I was just say an hour, 40 minutes to Crossville area. I was literally still listening to it on the radio, and I was getting into the county up there at
Cumberland County.
Oh my, you gotta be kidding me. Like, it was just, but here's the good part of the story the good part is they do a really good job on the radio, really talking about what's going on. And I would almost rather, have that on and then, have that over the broadcast. But that's just my take on that.
I wouldn't say that for every broadcast. I also like listening to MRN. I think me and you have turned into those old guys that listen to MRN on scanners when we're at the racetrack pretty much the whole race too. I don't know. Do you scan? We go to the race, do you scan or do you listen to MRN?
I mostly scan with the drivers.
I do the MRN, and then like if something's going on with Chase or Larson, I check that. That's usually kind of how I do. But I do enjoy the MRN coverage for sure. This is what I'll say about in this particular situation. Fox has got to quit trying to call races from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's ignorant as hell. Like you can't do it. It's terrible. I mean, nothing against the crew there. It is what it is. Michael Waltrip, the legend that threw out the pitch at the Braves game. I don't know. It's pretty bad. And is it Trevor Bain they got in there?
Yeah.
He lives right up the road from me. I drove past his house today pretty much. But it's one of those things where I don't know why they think they can do that and it's okay. And I think Fox is kind of mailing it in on the NASCAR thing. They're not doing that for IndyCar. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're actually at the IndyCar races. They got to do better than that, in my opinion. But they're only doing a truck race. It's expensive to fly people up there, right? When they can just contract out those cameras and do whatever. So I don't know, but I'm with you. Got to do better than what they're doing on their broadcast for sure. All right, Saturday ends up Corey Heim gets the win. I know that's a big shock. For some reason, none of us picked that as wild card picks. We're all a bunch of idiots for that, I guess. But big time race. I really wanted Zilich to get it done, that 45 truck, but he got a lap down early. He did get his lap back, and he was up there, but he had a lot of damage, so did not get it done. Saturday, rolling the Xfinity race. Connor Zilich on the pole. Connor Zilich dominates this race. Shane Van Gisbergen did get out in front of him, though, sometime there in around stage 3. And that brings us to highlight numero uno of this race. Zilich runs off the track, comes back on the track. He goes SVG. SVG had probably one of the scarier hits I've seen in a road course in the last 5 years, I would say. Backs into the fence, all 4 tires come off the ground. That was a hard hit, man. It's a hard hit. What'd you think?
Yeah, I was watching it live, and it was a bad deal for everybody. Nobody really wins in that situation, unless you're Zilich. But he didn't. They were just and then the more I watched the replay, it wasn't anything egregious or anything. It was just ran out of racetrack, and I heard the interviews afterwards, and SVG wasn't like, no big deal, or didn't take it was just, he just got wrecked. He didn't try to say anything. He just, I got to see a replay, and he wasn't, I didn't know what to expect in the interviews, but he went, all was well with the interview. Nothing was said or anything. But my take was just ran out of racetrack and had to get back on. And I was wanting those two to battle at the end.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't going to battle at the end because Connor was faster than him. And
yeah,
it was tough to get past. I didn't like how that all went down. This whole concept of this is what I struggle with. And this is a NASCAR issue that it's become more of an issue. And I know that they take away all the runoffs for safety, but go 12, 15 years ago, brother, there was no runoff. It was gravel. If you were way over there as far as he was, you're stuck. So you didn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? I would like to see them back some of these paved runoffs up. I really would. I know that NASCAR's not the only thing that goes there, but I don't want to get in this officiating track limits. I don't want to go into that, but we got to have some kind of natural deterrent so guys aren't going out there like that. I don't even care if they go spray it with water or something dumb like that and put dirt on it, sand. I don't know, but you can't have these guys racing over there. I'm sorry. He's too far off. I was really sad JP's not here for this part because he was going to basically crucify SVG here for not leaving him a line, and then we're going to talk about the next incident. He was going to be like, Austin Hill's an idiot, and I was going to be like, this is the same situation, brother, so you're going to have to pick which one. I mean, personally, I think they're the same situation. We're about to talk about the next one, but I don't know. I mean, Connor didn't have to do that, right? He could have lifted. He could have lifted and passed him later. He was so much faster than Shane, in my opinion. It was just kind of a rookie. These guys are going to be racing for a long time on road courses. Y'all might as well get used to it, so we'll see after there. All right, so that brings us up to the next wreck, which happened pretty much immediately after, which we tried to kill half the field. Austin Hill gets together with Michael McDowell. Thankfully, he's wearing black gloves, so we couldn't see what he did with the steering wheel from the helicopter cam. And then, was it Ryan Ellis, I think is who? I think it was 71 car. I think it was Ellis. Brandon Ellis. I don't know. Anyways, he went full arc of brakes and got up underneath somebody, and he almost took a freaking back tire to the head. I don't know if you saw it. That was sketchy. Michael McDowell went flying across the track up in there. We've seen some sketchy wrecks there. He got that one wreck there, that one time, that 95 Levin car, which he talked about that in his interview, and I'd already thought about it. But there's been some bad wrecks there. Sam Hornish had a really bad wreck there. Jeff Gordon had a bad wreck there. Yeah. But that's another one. Man, they got so much runoff out there. I'm just like, what do we do? And put grass out there, and then they won't do it. So we'll see. But did you have an opinion on the Hill versus McDowell? The angles were pretty crappy on TV.
The angles weren't the best, and he's way on that runoff. Oh, what's he doing way out? And at some point, you got to get back on the you got to get back in the right direction. And the wall was there. Something's there. And then, man, he didn't. It wasn't intentional. It was unfortunate. And I don't like how far he was out there. And and they were getting pretty aggressive. With coming into that area of the track. And both drivers need to know the situation better, I feel like, which I'm sure some people, probably don't want to hear that, but McDowell they were both way in that runoff, and they both got to get back on the track, and it came to the expense of McDowell and the whole I mean, that was probably the biggest wreck I've seen there in the Xfinity, maybe ever. And just those cars were coming so fast.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, they don't, the spotters are a long ways away, it sounded like. And some of those guys were just flying in there and just not knowing or can't see at that, or oil or whatever at that point. But
hey, the one thing, this is a good point I had, and I wanted to bring this up, and I forgot to put in notes. So this, to me, goes back to, like, we need the cautions in the car. So when they hit the button, every car needs a receiver that turns yellow in the car. So these guys slow down immediately, just so they know what's going on. I'm sorry. Like, and that's what they need to do. But I felt like some of these guys don't know there's caution, and then, like, I noticed the guys that were Arca brakes are driving through there too fast, man. I'm not trying to be asinine, but these are cars that's running 30th and back, and, like, their spotters ain't that good, their equipment that ain't that good, the drivers ain't that good. It's like they really need to slow down before somebody gets killed. I mean, that, like, seriously, like, that's more dangerous. I mean, you saw Mike McDowell's car come back across the track already destroyed. If he took a good hit to the door, you know, and that car's already destroyed, what's going to happen? So thankfully he was okay. Big hit for sure. Back to the whole, like, incident, and the same thing applies to the situation with, you know, Zilich and SVG. But, like, okay, when I'm on the interstate and I'm coming down the ramp and I'm merging on the interstate, if I'm at somebody's back wheel and the lane's ending, I either have to speed up and go around them, or I have to lift and go in behind them, right? That's what I have to do. To me, this is the same thing. Like, there's a wall. I don't feel like they've got to leave a lane to the wall. I feel like that's bullcrap. In that case, there's a wall there. In the other case with SVG and Zilich, like, there's a curb and there's grass. He doesn't have to leave you a lane. You're the one that went out there. You know what I mean? Like, if I get, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, if you're going to go out there, that's fine, but you are going to have to pay the price, whether that means slow down or, you know, somehow go around them. I don't know. There's a wall there in the Hill case, but they're both way out there, like I said. But it's got to the point at that track, like, they don't even try to run the track. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, we got to do something about that. And I think if they would do that, it would overall slow the speed down into the next corners too, because they're carrying so much speed with how wide out there they can get. And if they had to stay in line, they wouldn't be carrying as much speed in the next corner than the one after that. And then maybe you don't have that issue where SVG and Connor did. So I'm curious to see if NASCAR does anything about that. Well, the one idea I did have is maybe somehow you can, you know, sprinkle it, get the sprinklers out, throw some water on it, and they wouldn't have no traction. Or maybe you can spray something, or I don't know, get some sand trucks out there, salt trucks. I mean,
something's got to give, because I didn't think about that much until as we're talking about it. Like the whole, like, they've just
they're not even on the racetrack.
Yeah,
they're not even trying.
Literally,
right? And that's, you know, it's stupid. Like, there's a racetrack, use the racetrack. I mean, and they were hauling ass. Them cars are flying, dude. Like, as fast as they. I mean, It is weird how you don't realize how fast they're going at Watkins Glen, like down that backstretch, until you see them wreck. Like, for me, when I watch SVG's car hit, I'm like, he ain't going that fast. And then you see how hard it hits and bounce up there. You're like, no, he's actually hauling ass, actually. No, that hurt. And you see McDowell's car go damn near flipping across the track, and same thing. So, I don't know. Really, I love Watkins Glen. It's a great racetrack. I thought the Xfinity race was a good race. Hated those two incidences. I would like to see Connor lift and go live to race Shane another day and try to get passes. And I hope we watch them race for the next 15 years on road courses, because they're both really good. So I'd like to see that. I mean, Xfinity race was raced the weekend yet again. No shock there. You know, that turn 1, too, on the runoffs. Like, the whole track, they need to do something about the runoffs. There used to be gravel down there. I know the problem with the gravel traps is they don't want the cautions. And then if you go to grass, it's dangerous because the car's not getting no traction. So if you wreck, you know, you can get those hard hits. Jimmy Johnson had a really hard hit down there in turn 1 when he lost brakes one time and stuff like that. So I understand, but, like, let's do something. Like, you know, figure something out. Push him back on the racetrack. But anyway, Sunday, I literally have nothing to say about the race Sunday. Shane Van Gisbergen's a badass. He's gonna smoke everybody on a road course for a long time, and I don't have much else to say about it. You go ahead and do your thing.
Man, Paul went to Blaney. It's good to see him outrun just by a little bit of SVG. So it was cool to see Blaney, which doesn't run that great on the road courses usually. So at least he had the speed there in qualifying. And stage 1, it was good to see a Busher get the stage 1 win, and then SVG stage 2. But yeah, during the race there, the Ty Gibbs got into it a little bit with was it the 42, something like that at some point.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. So they had that weird, like, Toyota wreck thing. So, like, 42 gets into the 43, sends him in the wall, and then Ty Gibbs just absolutely sends 42 in the wall. It's like Toyota on Toyota crime. And then Ty Gibbs fight with his pit crew, his crew chief.
Oh, see,
I'm like,
I don't like that. Yeah, like, they have brought in
gay part.
A gay part. Yeah. And like he's trying to give good information and he's trying to help this team win a race to get to the playoffs, and he's wanting to bicker back and forth and argue. Like, I get it, he's young, whatever, but he just needs to listen. And if he can get that part, he's got to get that part figured out.
You know, those spoiled brats with their name on the sign, man. They're not used to being told no. And I mean, Ty's been awful. I mean, I'm sorry, Ty. At this point, he's not been awful. At this point, Ty's a disappointment, right, in his Cup Series career. I thought he would have won by now, honestly. If you watch what he did in the Xfinity Series, they dominate. You know, he's so good there. He hadn't done much. And you know, the other guys in his team are. He's the only one that won, right? I mean, Bell won, Hamlin won, Briscoe won. So where's he at? I mean, he's not irrelevant, right? Unfortunately, if you really go look at all those three monster cars, they're all kind of irrelevant at their team at this point. I mean, at this point, Reddick's not even better than Bubba. I mean, Riley Herbst, he's absolutely who, what, where, when. Never seen him on the racetrack. So, yeah, Ty needs to get himself under control. But, yeah.
And one thing I did not see on, I guess it was Saturday, was the Brad K. Carson. Brad K. I saw a highlight, maybe today I saw it, and he went sprinting like a bullet down that pit lane. He was going to go tell Carson something.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like I said, I didn't see. I don't know if the TV covered it in that qualifying session, but maybe he pulled out in front of him or slowed his lap down or something like that. But that was I like seeing Brad get fired up like that. That's good.
Yeah, so I actually was out here for qualifying. I got me a service cart, a Harbor Freight service cart for my Blackstone griddle. It's awesome. I was putting that together during qualifying while this was going on, and like they didn't really show it on TV, but I saw something on X, and I saw the video later of Brad running, but they actually missed it on TV live. But the thing about that is like, so basically they're still doing that crap. I know they moved the timing line to try to deal with it, but they're still kind of doing that thing where they go out there and like half heat up their tires and ride around because they want tires to be at optimal temperature or whatever whenever they take the green. And Hocevar thought Brad blocked him, so then he blocked him back is what happened. And Carson's just got to get over himself, man. But, you know, two Michigan boys out there fighting. Did you see what Brian Keselowski did?
I think I saw a highlight or a picture.
Oh, my God, dude. So they had like this historical race up there with like these old race cars. So they had one of their dad's old Dodge trucks, like 2001 Dodge truck, like one of the original ones. This sumbitch backed that thing in the fence and junked it. I was like, that's the one thing you cannot do. Like I don't even like Dodge, but I seen the picture of that truck. They unloaded it, ran some laps. Like that's awesome. And then like I see his tweet, Brian Keselowski, and he's like, driver's fired. And I was like, yeah, it needs to be. Damn right, it needs to be. I was like, yeah, God. And it's like, in my mind, I was like, is he trying to make some kind of push with this to, like, get Dodge to pick him up next year somehow, some way? And, like, you know, because Brad did the thing with Dodge when they were in the trucks, too. So, like, I didn't know what was going on there. But, I mean, that was sad to see that. But, yeah, Brad Keselowski absolutely was running Carson Hocevar's ass. I mean, the line's getting long. I mean, we're getting down to the DMV numbers here. We're getting to number 90 here before too long, so.
And then he got spun by his teammate in turn one on Sunday, I believe.
McDowell, maybe?
McDowell turned him around, and I don't know if he will hop or whatnot. And I'm not sure what stage that was in, but I saw a highlight of it somewhere that even his teammates are kind of.
So Hocevar's garbage on road courses. I think he's kind of just like, anybody wants to hit me at a road course, this is the good place to do it because I'm going to suck anyway. I don't think he had a problem with it, but overall, this is what it was. You know, I would like to say that somehow I have the results from the previous weekend here, but because we just knew SVG was going to win. SVG dominated the race and smoked him is what it is. It's impressive to watch. Some sick burnouts after. I'm pretty sure that there's still guys finishing the race when he's doing the burnouts. And, you know, I like SVG. I think he's cool. The fact that he has, like, tied the most wins on the season by only running road course, and he's 28th in points. So, whew, that is tough. Other low light, do you see what my boy Chase did?
Yeah, I thought, that was a good pick. But with some of the pit strategy and whatnot, I wasn't sure on the pit strategy deal. I'll let you tell me about that. But
I tried. I tried to sell it.
But it's
finished 26th. First time outside the top 20 all year, man. That's you go up there, you track your first ever win track, and go dump it like that. Like, man, that sucks. God, I guess he ran out of gas on the final lap or something like that. Had to flip or something like that. But I mean, he was already back there. But I don't know. I mean, Allen had a good, in my opinion, good pit call, and then he kind of bailed on it, and which happens, but I don't know. He wasn't fast. I mean, he got past whenever he was on that strategy. Had fresh tires with Priest. I mean, Priest drove past him and left him. His car wasn't fast enough. It is what it is. So, you think it was weird they took Zilich's car out of the race?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I saw it on X. I think from Bob said something about the sponsors just like the two drivers. They don't want to have anybody else in the car. It's kind of what it sounded like with a Red Bull.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense with sponsorship, but also, like, they couldn't get Allgaier or somebody to
At the end of the day, I think this goes back to, like, Red Bull being, like, kind of F1 sponsor and, some other stuff they do. You're like in a motocross event or somebody, a F1 race, you're not putting somebody else in their car, probably. Well, in F1, you might would have, like, a F2 driver or whatever step in, but I don't know. I hated to see the car get withdrawn because as a race fan, I want to see every new guy, young guy get a chance. I don't know who they would have had to put in there, really. I mean, somebody like a Caden Honeycutt, if he didn't go do what he did this week, maybe would have had a chance. I was trying to think of a good driver, but, like, Allgaier's not really doing it. I mean, Corey LaJoie, not doing it. I want to see Parker Kligerman. That's what I wanted to see in it. If I could pick, but I understand where Red Bull's coming from. I hate to see the opportunity to let somebody make a start or not make a start. I think I'm not a big fan of that. But other than that, this is what it is. SVG dominates, and road race cars that can't pass still. It is what it is. Roval's coming. It's gonna be the same thing. We can go ahead and just copy and paste. It'll be the same things. I don't know. Overall, it's a good weekend. I love that track. I think it's a great play. I hope they never take it off the schedule. Somebody's talked about taking it off the schedule. I'm like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
but,
I saw some of that on some other podcasts. They were talking about there's either too many road courses or they want less. Or I like the number it's at. I wouldn't want any more.
Yeah.
I like it's something different, and some would say that the same guy's winning all of them, which is true. But
yeah. So like, get rid of these cars. No race. Yeah. I mean, we watched the Xfinity race. Another thing, even in this race, the race for second was good. I mean. Byron and was it Byron and Blaney? I guess who cares? They were so far behind, it didn't matter. But like, there was a decent races back there, but it's just hard to pass in these cars at the end of the day. But I mean, the Xfinity race was great. To me, that's the best car on the track week in, week out. So I mean, it's a good racetrack. We can't blame the track. So moving on to Richmond this weekend, sure it'll be tough to pass. Be a tire strategy, fuel strategy game. We'll see what happens. Hopefully there'll be some tire wear. Got trucks on Friday, Cup on Saturday night. I don't know if you saw that. We could get wild on Saturday if you really want to. We could get wild. How far is that? I bet it's 10 hours. Probably not going to do that, but we could if we wanted to. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, picks this week we already went over. You got the dub. AP still leading 10 with 11 week wins. I've got 10, and Dwat has 5.
All right, I'll go.
So, you're making ground. Is that right? I think that's right.
I think
okay.
So. I think that's
so,
right.
You're halfway there to me. And, I hadn't won in a month, so we'll see what happens. But other than that, you got to pick last. Unfortunately, JP's not here. I did defer. Go ahead and give him first pick. So this week we're doing Truck, Cup, and we're going to pick the Batesville Topless 100 just because I like it. Topless late model's cool. So I will go ahead and look at his stuff. So we'll start with, I guess we're starting with Cup. This is KFB. Whew. I guess he's high.
He runs good there, but
I mean, if he has Austin Dillon's car from last year, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm wearing an Austin Dillon shirt on Saturday. He still got ripped last year. I'm just gonna take I kind of want to take Hocevar, but he's not gonna do it. So just give me the 11.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Give me Christopher Bell, the 20 car.
Going out on limbs. It could be Briscoe. I'd also like to point out, I didn't pick him, but I would like to just make the point. Ryan Priest's going to be tough in this race, just for the record, I think. Ryan Priest he has been good for a while, and this is maybe his best track. He's run a lot of modifieds there, so we'll see what happens. Next up, we'll go ahead and do trucks. This says Riggs. I would assume that'd be Lane Riggs. We could give him Scott Riggs, who won't be in the car, but I guess we'll give him Lane. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, obviously, that's a good pick. I could take the layup, and I could go with time. I'm going to do it again. Give me Caden Honeycutt in the 52 truck. First start in 52 for Hallmark Friesen Racing, and they're in the news. We'll see what happens there.
All right. Should I pick the layup or not? I'll go with Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith? What's he driving now? 38? Something like that? I'll put his name in here. I think it's 38.
Yeah.
It's either 34, 38, one of the two. All right, and for the topless, Batesville. He's going with the Dude White machines. Leaving, your favorite picks out here. I would like to know who's going this race this weekend. I would kind of like to pick Dale McDowell to win this race, but given the schedule around the house, I don't know that he's going to be there. Jimmy's probably not. Honestly, I don't know where these guys are going to go. So you almost have to go with the Lucas driver here. Shoot, I don't even want to pick this really. Overton's probably a good pick. I don't know. That's not really his track. Bobby's obviously not going to be there. This is Lucas guys only. Give me a 99 Devin Moran. I feel like this is kind of track. It's going to be slick. Davenport's also going to be tough to beat. I mean, if I was you, that's probably who I'd pick. RTJ will not. I will say I don't think RTJ will be good this weekend, just for the record, but he could be. So,
I think Davenport's a little bit mad from last week, so I'll go with the 49.
Well, 32 ain't going to be there to fight with him, so he should have a good chance. So we'll see what happens there. But other than that, we'll do the 1 hot minute. I'll let you go first, and then I'll go after that, and we'll shut her down.
The Cars Tour. We're going to have the Dale Jr. is going to be there, so it's something that we don't talk about much on here, but I'm trying to learn more about on my end of things with the asphalt late model racing. So that's going to be pretty cool, I think. He's got the baseball paint scheme from the 01 All-Star game, and on the hood is the game that was at Bristol a couple weeks ago. So that's just kind of something that I'll watch. It's on Flow. I'll give that a watch, and something different. We'll see how many cars are there. Hopefully it's I don't think he'll win, but I think maybe it'll be good to see Junior maybe top 5.
I hope so, man. He hadn't done too much here this year. I don't want to see him quit racing, once or twice a year. I'd like to see him run an Xfinity race at Bristol or something. We'll definitely see what happens there. We'll be tuned into that one. All right, I'm gonna take my 1 hot minute and I'm gonna donate this to you idiots that are on my nerves on the internet. And I actually want to hear your opinion on this too, kind of at the end. So, I'm tired of watching people posting these wrecks where people get hurt or people fall out of a race car, and then people laughing about it and saying ugly crap about people. I've seen this video of the dude, unfortunately, that died at Bowman Gray over the weekend. I've seen that posted like 50 times today, and today is Tuesday, and it's still getting posted because people keep watching it. And like every time I see it, I actually flag it. Now, if you want me to be completely honest with you, it's because there's no reason to be putting wrecks where people die on the internet. Like, it's completely inappropriate, and you people need to quit that. It's disrespectful to the families, to the drivers, all that. I feel the exact same way about the Connor Zilic injury. I feel the same way about the basketball injury that happened a few years ago in the Final Four, and that dude's bone came out from Louisville. Like, why are we posting this on social media? Like, we need to, as a society, be better than that. Same thing with Stuart Friesen's wreck. I don't like the fascination that we have with injuries, and I feel like it's disrespectful to people. I know that they show this on stuff on the broadcast. Like, I mean, they didn't show Connor Zilic falling out of the car on the broadcast. They didn't show the guy dying at Hickory on the broadcast. Flo and Dirt Vision both do a really good job, in my opinion, of not showing replays of wrecks if somebody might be injured. Like in this, I was not watching the night of the Stuart Friesen incident, but I know that like their general policy on that is they're not going to play that all night. If he's going to hospital, they're not going to play anything. I know that it was surfaced later on the internet, but so just be more respectful with what you're posting out there on the internet, man. It's stupid. Like, I like to get out there and make fun, and I rage bait. If you guys see the Caution Flag X, I'm out here. I mean, I said we should just put the cup cars on all-terrain tires. I don't know if you saw that. I replied to Dale Jr. Congratulations, he's seen your page, by the way. But
yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Mine's not that famous, so I'm glad it worked out for you. But I don't know. Let's have a little more respect than that for people. I like to see the wrecks and stuff, but like, come on, man. Like, we don't need to be celebrating people getting hurt and posting that for their kids. What if they got a 2-year-old that's gonna see that and 10 years. I don't know. That's my opinion. Just be more respectful, be humble, be kind, right? Like that's all we ask. Dirt racing, like, I'm not a racer. I'm a fan, and I watch the family of racers and take care of each other. And like, let's not do dumb craps. Other than that, the only other hot minute item I have is Kyle Strickler. Congratulations on your non-qualifier win. I hope that paid your bail, son. Don't drink too much Fireball. But, he also needs to shave. So I don't know. I guess that's about it. Anything else we need to talk about? Is it about time to get out of here?
That's about all I got.
All right. Yep. Well, sorry we were a day late. We had a little bit of emergency going on yesterday. Shout out to all my family. Think about all y'all. And, Glad to be here. Thanks, Dwat, for pushing it back a day. Have a good time. You guys be sure to check out Dwat on the old, he keeps his posts up. I'm trying to figure out how to come up with a segment on here. We might call it the Dwat's Dirty Details or something like that, because he gets the details out there. I mean, he's better than Bob Packerass. I'm just saying. He gets them out there. If you guys need to know what network, what time, Dwat's to follow. So give him a follow at DWAT4912 or something like that. And then we got Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast X, whatever. Follow us on there. Share it. I'm going to get on TikTok, start trying to make more TikToks. That's some mental cheeseburgers.
I saw that. That looked good.
Good, son.
A post-race dinner. It looked good.
Yeah, I was trying to eat those during the race, but the race was shitty, so it was too fast. So. Anyways, all right, sounds good. We'll catch y'all on the flip side for JP. I hope Brandon Overton doesn't win. I hope Dwayne Riggs loses. And what else did he pick? KFB. I actually hope Kyle Busch wins. So just for the record at Richmond, I'd like to see your boy Brad Keselowski. I'd like to see Kyle Busch. Yeah. I'd like to see Priest. I really like to see one of these guys that's outside get in here. So we will see what happens. I'd really like to see SVG win an oval too. Outside shot. But we'll see what happens. So I'm going to hit the button. You have a good weekend. All right. I'll holler at you later. Hopefully we'll go to race this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. Don't work too hard. Hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.